Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Big Funk, thinking right out here in my lab. I'm back in the book where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. We're doing a culture interaction with different cultures, and I'm going to give you a little Egyptian creation myth and the relationship with the Christianity and the Gnosticisms. Different perspective about the religious views. So, should be a good lesson. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules live by. Storyteller. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. I'm on it. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I get through, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya, be true. Ooh, we back in the book, African Origins. And we just getting started. Here's the timetable of the religion. The black is the Egyptians. And everybody's falling behind. Sumerians, Mauryaans, the Greeks, the Romans, Catholic, Christian, Muslims, Christianity. Everybody's right there. But to see the black, that go back 10,000 BCE. The reason why he can't give you that information, he don't have it. We do. Moving on. So that's the difference. All right, let me break down right quick for you. Right thinkers, let's talk about the cultural interactions between Judaism and ancient Egypt. First, I'm going to give you the ancient Egyptian creation myth that's in relation to the Christianities and the Gnostics views. First, let's talk about the Bible. Genesis 1. And the earth was without form. Okay, we called it the noon. And void. The noon, again, the darkness. Again, the noon was born upon the face of the earth. The deep, not the face of the deep. Okay. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Again, the noon. The idea of a primeval water and an original primeval spirit that engendered life in it occurs in several myths. Everybody say the same thing. Different, same thing. Okay. From around the world. Again, it occurs both in the Jewish Bible as well as the Hindu mythology. However, the earliest record of the idea of a primeval water occurs where? You ready? Pre-dynastic culture of ancient Egyptian religion. We started the damn thing. Moving on. A lot of people don't like that. I don't know why, but moving on. Haters. It is what it is. This pre-dynastic, again, I just told you, we started 10,000 years ago. We got receipts. To 5,000 BCE. Okay? We was in total control of everything we did. No white man influence, no outside interference, and we lived in harmony for thousands of years. Not a few years. No, thousands of years. Not a few hundred. No, a few thousand. Let that seep in, okay? And when you're living by the myth that you practice a philosophy as a group of people, the myths spoke of a God who was unborn. Right there. Unborn, self-created, genderless, and without form. I told you, spirit and consciousness, there is no form. You need a physical body. Let's get that lesson, okay? But now, although encompassing what? All forms and being transcendental. This being was what they call the God of light. That's the spirit that's in me and you. We call it Haru, which illumines all things. He came out of darkness, the light out of the darkness, and thus was later, watch this, associated in the dynastic times with who? The sun, the light, okay? In the form of deities. They made the sun God, Ra, or Tem. Those are aspects of God. Watch this. Or Haru, Horus to some, who represents, this is all symbolic, mythological, that which is up there. You see me all the time pointing up there? Up there. That's where the spirit resides, okay, in heaven, conceptually. So that what up there means. Not that it's up there in heaven, no, not literally, okay, symbolically. So watch this. That which is up there in the light. And finally, they got a god called Atum, okay, that's the sun. Another lesson, but all these are names that they gave to God, and everybody had an idea. Now, Tem or Temu were the ancient Egyptian names for what? That ocean that is full of life and given potential, the phenomenal universe, and what is, the ocean that's full of life giving potential. That's the noon, okay? That's God. Total potential, all chaotic at the time. So first thing he did was he needed order. That's when Mayat came in. But this ocean is unlikened to the deep and the boundless abyss of what they consider consciousness. Spirit and consciousness represents God. He can't do nothing with all the spirit, nobody to be in, no conscience for nobody to use. So he created everything. And I need man. Why? Because these animals, these plants, they're not going to worship me. I need somebody to create me. So he created man. I just gave that lesson. All right. This is a mythological concept. And watch this. The abyss of consciousness, all-knowing, of the supreme deity, from which the phenomenal universe emerged out of his conscience, out of his mind. Tem was analogous in nature to what? Later deities, such as, you ready? The Babylonians had their Tiamat, the Chaldeans had Tamati, Thamti, and the Hebrews Tihorn, and the Greeks Thymus. All these is female goddesses who that represent time or some aspect of that. Everybody had one, a goddess. Okay, now let's talk about the culture, the cultural interactions between Judaism, aka the Jews, and ancient Egypt. What the Jews did, they solidified their position by using Egypt because they know they can depend on that. But they created their own self, claiming they had an Exodus. But now this is their book. The next prominent, example of adoption of religious cultures, stealing identity. No, they said borrow. I won't say that. That's nasty. That's wrong. They borrow other cultural aspects. That's why we're dealing with the interaction. So to show you how little parts work together. Now, from the relationship between Judaism and ancient Egypt, the Jews had the Exodus out of Egypt. Remember that? Moses? That story? Now, you don't have a date for Moses, but you got a date for other guy who we're going to talk about. So we know, how do Moses don't have, Jesus ain't got no birthday. Aru, Christmas, 25th. We know that. Y'all don't know Jesus' birthday. What the heck? How you don't know this stuff? Moses, no birthday. Don't know the great. What? Remember, but if you told your Bible thumpers, Bible followers, which I got no problem with, that these are all mythological stories, not literal stories. The Romans got it wrong. They tried to take myth and make them literal. Everybody knows that. Come on, man. It's been over 2,000 years. The cat's out the bag. It shouldn't be the big secret at this point. Oh, so Egypt, watch this. Many times in the emergence of any new mythology, religious viewpoints, theologies, whatever, throughout history, the founders or the followers of said new system of religion will create stories. Create stories, not facts. Create stories to show how it's teaching purposes. Again, I don't have to create stories to teach my lessons, my philosophy. Why? I could use real life people like my dad, my mom, people in my life. I can use them examples. Why? They got the same thing. I'm going to use them. That's all. Moving on. That's the difference. And watch this. How the new system founders follow this new system of religion, and they will, again, create stories to show how this new system suppresses the old. The story of Exodus is such an example. Again, Moses went out to the top of the Mount Sinai to what? Talk to God. And he brought back 10 commandments. He dropped one. He had the 3 tablets, he dropped one. That's the commercial with my man, Mel Brooks. He cracks me up. He on the other side, and God talked to Moses. He think God talking to him. All right, but he came down with 10 commandments. At the time that Moses was supposed to have lived, right there. What you mean supposed to have lived? Either he did or he didn't. According to, no, that's, say what it is, a myth. Moving on. He was supposed to live between 1200 and 1000. That's a 200 damn it year gap. Really? Moving on. And y'all, you take that to be true? BCE. Ancient Egypt, watch this, was the most powerful culture in the ancient world. So everybody wanted to either take it down, be part of it, and get some of it. However, at the time when the height of the foremost culture and religious practice, we had the best art, the most advanced sciences, we had the social order, etc. We had it going on, so to speak. Harmony amongst the people, everything was flowing. So it became necessary, for the Jews, which was a small group of ancient Egyptians. I'm cringing saying that. According to the Bible, there you go. I know that I don't know about that, but according to the Bible, I told you they used Egypt to substantiate I know how that worked. But according to the Bible, the early Jews were ethnic ancient Egyptians. Does that mean they were black? Jews, Colossians, whatever they call y'all black. You in the black land. You're black. When you left and went somewhere else, whatever, but the original black. But when y'all came from the Caucasus Mountains, and y'all came from the Kazakhs, whatever they call y'all, yeah, we know about y'all. But now, the Jews came out of Egypt. Now, to legitimize what? The inception of their new theology, aka the new religion, by claiming to have triumphed over the mighty Egyptian gods with the help of their new God, true God, aka Yahweh, who defeated the weaker gods of Egypt. Right there, right there, right there. That's why the Egyptian and Christians don't get along. Right there. The Christians have a problem thinking Egyptians did something to them. Never happened. But that's the way that we mess with y'all. Why? Y'all lied on us. We didn't do that to y'all. I'm speaking from the Egyptian skill. But yeah, that's a lie. Moving on. But watch this. They claim they God defeated the Egyptian God with that myth. Again, myth, not literal. Come on, man. And for y'all to be hell-bent on that, to claim for y'all legitimacy, no, you can't hang your hat on that. That never happened. Who defeated the weaker gods of Egypt? And this triumphant story, thank you, this triumphant story would surely bring people to what? To convert. To what? This new faith. You're tricking them. You're lying to them. False pretenses. Whatever you want to call it. And since up to that time, what? The ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses, remember, male and female, we always had them. Y'all said they had many gods. We understood one but one God, everything came from that. Moving on. And they have been seen not only as the most powerful divinities, but also, according to the Greeks, not us, the Greeks, as the source of other deities and other religions. So, in effect, by saying that the Jewish God defeated the ancient Egyptian God by freeing the Jews. That's a lie. Let's call it what it is. It is the same, what's this, as saying that a new, more powerful religion is to be followed. And this form of commencement for a spiritual tradition is not uncommon. Okay, that was the way they did it. Okay. But also as an example of what? Enculturation, the similarity between the story of Moses, watch this, not original. Oh, no. We got Christ, we got Moses too. Watch this. Y'all, that's not the original story. Moses of the Jews, watch this, who was put, the story of Moses and the Jews. We have Sargon, the first, from Assyria, reigned from about 335 to 279 BCE. That's the original concept. Watch this. Now is instructive. Sargon also was placed in a basket and floated down the river to be picked up by the royal household. Sound familiar? So part of the story of Moses is borrowed. What? It didn't happen? Part of the story about Moses was borrowed from the Assyrian religious history concept. Mythology. So all y'all, Moses went around and talked to God. He did this. Never happened. It's a mythological story. And y'all hell-bent to want to believe it. Why? I don't get it. Moving on. That's the power of belief. When you hell-bent on something, it's hard to break them out of that. So that ain't my job. I just get the truth and let it go. Moving on. Now, watch this. In almost the exact same expression as one in the ancient Egyptian creation myths. See, we know ours are myths. We ain't beat for that. Greeks tell you they're myths. I studied Master Greek mythology. They tell you the original Jewish Bible and related texts also describe, you ready? The creation in terms of an act of sexual union. Elohim, the ancient Hebrew for what? God and goddess. Let us make man. If you got two men, y'all ain't gonna make man. You got two women, y'all ain't gonna make man. Good video, but ain't gonna do nothing for production. So understand that. So it had to be male and female to order to what? Create life. And Elohim means more than one God. El is God, one, plural, singular, excuse me. But you have male and female gods and impregnates what? The primeval waters with the word ruach, R-U-A-C-H, a Hebrew word which means spirit, okay, wind, shu, or the verb to hover. Again, what's that? The ocean, I get God with whatever he's doing, hovering, the word. And what's this? So the same word means broad in Syriac. Elohim, also called El, was a name used for God in some Hebrew scriptures. It was also used in what they call the Old Testament for the what? The heathen gods. Thus, as the book of Genesis explains, creation began as the Spirit of God moved over the waters and ignited those waters, agitated those waters into a state of movement. Same story the Egyptians tell you, same story. In Western traditions, the active role of divinity has been assigned to the male gender, okay. And while the passive receiving role has been assigned to the female gender. Now, this is in contrast to what? To the Southern and Eastern philosophical views, where the passive role is assigned to the male gender and the active role is flipped, is back reversed. They said Egypt, Africa is swept upside down. East is west, north is south, south is north. No, everything that y'all learn ass backwards got it wrong, but you can't tell the person who originated that they got it wrong, they got it backwards. You couldn't have got it wrong. It couldn't be you, okay? But that's the concept. We call Mother Earth female. The Egyptians, Gad was Earth, the male. Heaven is the female. That's why in sexual position, the women always on top. Men don't like that idea, but that's just a natural order thing. Why? Women got the curve. Men is lazy. Okay, y'all going back to dog, that freak concept. But it's all pleasure. To reproduction, it don't make a difference. Male, female got to get together. How y'all do that? That's on you. But the whole idea is to understand every religious culture. Every culture had a religious concept, and they all myths. That's all stories to teach, to educate. That's all. I use it to my benefit. Why? Because if you understand the myth, you get the lesson. I'm here every day to do just that for you. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be right back. I'll figure out, start a new fresh lesson for you. So, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100. Minus that day. So I'll never know that my right thinkers who get their culture into actions, understanding, passed away. I'll be right back with some more.